Welcome to your journey of healing with the Healing Podcast, hosted by licensed clinician Monique Owe and co-host Dr. Amber Mohn.
Thank you for tuning into the Healing Podcast. I am your host, Monique Owe, and I am joined by my lovely co-host here,
Dr. Amber Mohn.
Okay, so today's topic is the value of acceptance. Thank you so much for your support, for tuning into the Healing Podcast. We hope this has been helpful to you or to someone you know. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. So, the value of acceptance. Let's talk about it, Dr. Mohn. What does it mean to be accepted or to have acceptance? What does that mean?
And honestly, it means, like fully acknowledging the facts of the situation and not fixating on how it shouldn't be that way. So, accepting a situation for what it is and not dwelling on, how it could be different or why, it's not different. And just accepting it. May not like it, may not be, how you envisioned it, but, just seeing it for what it really is.
Okay. I think it's, I guess the issue is hearing that, Dr. Mohn, yeah, it seems simple enough. It just seems complicated for people to do sometimes, right? Now, I can say it's probably because we make things bigger than what they need to be, because we sometimes want to force a change when it doesn't need to be. Like you said, we just need to accept what it is,
yes.
Right? Everything doesn't have to be changed, or everything doesn't have to be perfect. That's
right.
one. I think the issue there is we want to strive for perfection, right?
Right.
I don't quite have the weight that I wanted. I don't weigh what I used to weigh when I was in high school. Well,
I'm still trying to accept that.
You're still trying to accept that?
I'm not
but
there
the
yet.
fact is, I'm not saying you can't get back to the high school weight.
Right.
But you are a full-grown adult now, right?
I shouldn't be 110 pounds?
I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to be 110 pounds anymore when your metabolism it knocked out everything you ate. You just were going and you were still developing, versus now you're a full-grown adult.
Yes.
And as a woman, hormones change.
Yes.
Levels change. Your body doesn't respond the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So now you might hold on to a little bit of more fat in the area that you didn't when you were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a mom, the baby weight may have stayed there.
Yes.
In high school, you probably didn't have that weight. And if you did have a child when you were younger, your body was able to get back. But now your body said, okay, I'm done. So it's like...
After your fourth kid. Is that all right?
After your fourth kid. And then I think, how about other stuff? But maybe it's not weight. Because weight you can work on if you want to. If you've done what you could do for it. But after that, it's accepted. This is what it's going to be, right? Or what if it's a health condition? What if just now, I can't walk up the steps and run the steps like I used to. My knee bothers me. I have to now walk slow. It's accepting that, right? It's just hard to let go of what we were used to sometimes. Or what about accepting the fact, I guess, Dr. like you said, it should be as easy to be able to, this is just what it is. When it's a relationship or an opportunity that you felt should have been yours, but it didn't come your way, or it didn't stay the way you wanted it to stay. I know there's value in accepting that, right? Just being okay with it, like, take it for what it was. But it's hard, Dr.
Oh, absolutely.
It's hard to just say, okay, I have to take this for what it is. But I see the benefit because what's the alternative?
It's not accepting it and being in denial.
Right. And then it's caused another issue, right? Then I'm focusing on this. So there is value with what we're saying and just taking things for what it is. Right. Really, this is just what it's going to be.
Or just seeing it. Like being real with yourself and just saying, hey, my family's dysfunctional. I wanted a different way, but this is who they are. They have shown me who they are. So, and there's nothing you can do about it. There is no events you can have, talks you can have. At some point, you have to just see it for what it is. When you talk about your weight, you can see it for what it is. Like, this is it. Doesn't mean that you can't do things to change it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But I see right now, I've accepted the fact that I've gained weight for these, reasons. And so I accept this is how I am now. This is where I am in life. And then you can change it or try to. But when you're sitting up here saying, well, I don't have this and I don't have that and I don't know where this weight comes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So that's what I mean. Like you don't have to, just say, okay, well, it is what it is. Okay, I get it. Like, oftentimes there are ways you can, things you can put in place to change some of these things that you're accepting. But when we talk about being in denial and acting like it's not there and, asking why and all these other things when, like, you understand most of the time what it is.
I think if I even look at the actual topic, the value of it,
yes,
is that once I understand that by me accepting the value is that now I can probably change it.
Exactly.
Once I accept, okay, this is what I don't like or what I didn't like or what it is, now I can do what I can to change it within my power, right? Like if it is a weight thing,
yes,
I have to accept the fact I don't weigh what I used to weigh before.
Yes.
Now, if you're in denial about the weight, you won't change it because you'll still be thinking you look a certain way when you don't. But if you accept the fact that the fact is, I accept the fact that I gained weight, I'm not 16 anymore. I'm now this age. I'm going to accept that. And I'm going to accept certain things come with this age, meaning I can't just eat this some ice cream and I feel it. Like in high school, I probably could have and it was nothing. But now I have to accept the fact that it's different now. So now I can do something about it. I mean, like I can change the ice cream I eat. Or I can change how much of it I eat. Right? And that will help me come back to the fact that now when I eat it, I gain so many pounds because now I have balanced it out. So there is value in knowing this is what it is. Now I'll do something about it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. Well, we'll get back into this topic some more. And we're going to make a quick segue here and get into, you guessed it, the situation. Dr. Mohn, what's our situation for today?
Dear Healing Podcast, my family thinks I am a bank. Yes, I make good money. However, what they don't understand with good money comes more problems and higher costs and bills. Recently, a close family member asked me to borrow $3,000. I told them that I could not lend them this money for, this amount of money. I didn't tell them why I couldn't. Personally, I've had some added expenses and my student loans are now out of forbearance. Fast forward a few weeks later, we were all at a family gathering. My family saw that I pulled up in a new car. Now, this family member has stopped talking to me. Through the family rumor mill, I am allegedly a sellout and only think of myself. Mind you, I have helped my family many times before. Many years ago, when I was in a bind, no one in my family helped. Then, to be honest, although it's none of their business, the only reason I got a new car is because it was a better deal. The new car under a new lease dropped my monthly car payment. I feel like cutting contact with my family for at least a while. Am I wrong? Should I explain why I really did not have $3,000 to lend to this family member? My answer to that is absolutely not. That is your money. You go to work every day. You earned it. You've put in the work, whether it be education, whether it be whatever it is for you to get that job or get that profession, and make the money that you make. You did it, most of it on your own, I'm sure. So you don't owe any explanation to anybody. And I think that if separating yourself, from your family members for a while brings you peace and, because I know that that's got to be hurtful to be called a sellout. You weren't a sellout when you was giving up that money. You weren't a sellout then. You only became a sellout when you start putting you first. And you should always come first. And they should probably follow your lead and do better on their end, and so that they can, be taking care of themselves. I'm guessing they're all adults, those you're lending money to. So, they're able-bodied, I'm guessing, where they can go out and get a job or a better job or, another job to take care of themselves. And you don't owe anyone an explanation.
Okay. Thank you for writing into the Healing Podcast. And listen, I echo Dr. Mohn's sentiments basically. Listen, your money is your money. You worked hard for it, to achieve it, to earn it. Whatever you did, education or trade or just profession, something, a craft that you learned, that was on you. And it's not for you just to give it to everybody else. Yes, you help out when you can. But the moment you can't, that's just what it is. So it's unfortunate that your family decided to talk about you that way because you couldn't help out this time. But it is okay to keep your distance. I think, you don't have to be their personal bank. And if people want to feel that way about you because of a one no in comparison to how many yeses, then that's on them. That's their loss. It really is. So thank you for sharing your situation with the Healing Podcast. I hope that's been helpful to you. If you're out there and want to share your situation, please feel free to email support@thehealingpodcast.com and share your situation. Before we get back into the topic, a word from our sponsor, Healing Expressions.
Are you someone who has been considering therapy? Perhaps someone else has told you that you need to talk to a therapist. Or maybe you're in a relationship and you want to discuss some challenges that you've been facing with your significant other. Maybe there's a communication issue, perhaps an incident of infidelity. Or maybe you just want to strengthen your relationship because you guys are thinking about taking another step. Maybe you're struggling with anxiety or depression, perhaps grief, life stressors, and you just want to share your thoughts with someone. Well, consider contacting Healing Expressions. Healing Expressions is a private practice located in the Atlanta, Georgia area. You will be given a session at an affordable price with a licensed therapist. If this resonates with you, consider going to healingexpressionsllc.com, reading about the practice, and hitting the contact tab to see if you can book a session. All right, thank you so much. And back to the Healing Podcast.
Okay, so back to the topic of value of acceptance. Well, we know there is value in accepting the way things are because that will help us change what it is that we're upset about, right? We've discussed a little bit about that. I mean, let's look at the alternative. If you don't accept things, how stressful is it, right? Dr. Mohn? If I push back on what something is. Like, okay, let's look at a relationship.
Yes.
If the relationship is over, let's say a romantic relationship, even if it's a divorce, unfortunately, but marriage is over, unfortunately, and you don't accept it, how much damage are you doing trying to force it? Or maybe it is, maybe the paperwork is fine, but you still what are you doing? You keep going to the person's house, you keep looking at their picture, you keep calling them, trying to talk to them, you keep trying to find out what they're doing because you just won't accept the fact that it is now over or that person has moved on. Listen, they may have hurt you, I'm not dismissing that, but if you don't accept the fact, meaning that part is done, are you going to allow yourself a chance to heal?
No, you're prolonging it.
You're right, Dr. Ma. I think you're preventing yourself, right? Mm-hmm. You're doing damage. Not accepting it does damage. So there's value. You will gain something by acceptance, right? In that case. Now, we're not saying accept abuse. We're not saying that. But we are saying acknowledge that there's abuse. And then you try to do something about it, But I think too many times, Dr. Ma, I think it's hard. One reason I think it's hard is we just can't accept reality sometimes. We live in a fantasy sometimes, mm-hmm. right? Like, I'll go back to the weight thing, because many people can relate. You keep comparing yourself, and I say this a lot on this podcast, to pictures that sometimes are not real. Now, unless you see the process, what should be motivating, the people who show you the process and they actually do lose it, and they are a different way, yeah, it's possible. That lets you know it's possible. But for the ones who just keep looking at the pictures they keep posting, and now especially with AI,
oh yeah,
and they can do anything to make it look real.
Yes.
You keep looking at that. You're not accepting what's going on, which is reality that you're older, your body's different now. Like, literally, how do you expect to still be slim when for a year, if you had an injury and you couldn't work out because of a leg injury and you couldn't run and you gained weight, but you don't accept the fact that something prevented you from losing the weight?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're looking at that picture. How do you know what that person went through?
Exactly.
10 minutes of cropping and editing?
Exactly.
How about that?
Exactly.
But you're getting upset about yourself versus something that's not real. So there's value in accepting what really happened so that you can change it. But like I said, Dr. Mohn, the alternative is stress, denial, pain. Does it cause you to miss out on opportunity, Dr. Mohn, if you don't accept what something is?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You will not, you'll be standing still. You will not move forward. Okay? And so my thing is that, again, we're not saying you can't change it, but you have to accept it first. You gotta come, this is my reality. My clothes are too little. Accept that. Accept. Don't put them pants on when you know you're going to be pulling them up every 2 seconds. You've outgrown them. You can change it, except that them clothes are too little. I have this issue. as well.
Where's my favorite shirt down there? Don't tell me not to put my favorite shirt on though.
Fold it up, listen, or hang it up so that it could be your motivation.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, we all got those things in the closet. I'm gonna get back into
you're
that.
Right, you're right, and you may, but you gotta accept that you added it. You can't fit it now. So yeah, that's all I think that's all we're saying.
Let me go the other way too, because I don't want to pick on weight. Mm-hmm. It's not that you just gain weight. Sometimes you've lost weight and you want to be back to your other size, right? Maybe you were sick and something happened, or you can no longer eat something a certain way, and just you can't keep stuff down. So you want to get back to being a different weight too. Is accepting that something happened to cause your body to change, and now you will do what you can to hopefully fix it, or allow yourself to get the counseling you need to be able to cope with the change that happened, right?
Yes.
So it's not just the weight thing. One thing, another thing that happens, that's one that people need to accept, and there's value in this. If they tell you your child is a bully, okay, and you know your child does have a certain behavior,
yes,
the value in accepting that is you'll be able to help your child change. But you keep acting like, oh, they ain't doing that. They not doing nothing. That's them who's tripping. They shouldn't be bothering my child. You were going to cause damage in the future, and your child probably is going to end up in some trouble later on as an adult.
Absolutely.
Because you never accepted the fact that they were a bully. Yes. They were causing trouble, and you didn't go to handle it. So there's value in that, because now you can change the thing that's a problem.
Yes.
So there is definitely value in accepting things, because it can promote change.
Exactly.
Dr. Mohn, how about anything else about this?
No.
Okay. So I thank you again. We thank you always for tuning in, and we'll leave you with this. And that is, understanding is the first step to acceptance. And only with acceptance can there be recovery. That is by unknown. We definitely thank you for tuning into the Healing Podcast. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Please tell your friends and your loved ones about it. We hope that it's been helpful to you and to someone you know. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.